welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see by the thumbnail, we're going to build another watch using parts from AliExpress. Now, I wanted to put together something kind of interesting, something that kind of looked like I had converted a pocket watch to a wristwatch. So I picked out some very antique looking hands and a dial, and I picked up an ST3600 movement. Now this is very similar to the ETA 6497, however the crown stem is much thicker and it's got what's called a gooseneck adjustment or something like that on the balance. Anyway, it's a little prettier and it will show once I get the movement in the case. So unlike the previous videos, I'm actually not going to link the items that I purchased from AliExpress because in the past what I've noticed is that I'll link something and the store that I purchased it from just disappears off AliExpress. The link becomes invalid. Then you ask me to find it again. I do that and the cycle just keeps repeating. So what I will do is I will give you a description of what I purchased. That way you can hopefully find the same thing if you're interested in making the same kind of build. Before we start the build, I want to do a quick wrist check. Today I am wearing a Nevada Grenchen. If I can get it zoomed in a little bit here. Proton. Now this is a watch I think from the 50s, 60s, but I picked this up on eBay. It was really inexpensive because the crown would not stay in, and no matter what position the person tried to put it in, all it did was adjust the hands. I did a really quick and simple fix of the keyless works, and as you can see, the watch is running just fine and is keeping almost perfect time. So as I said, I'm going to put descriptions of everything that I purchased from AliExpress into the description below. That way, hopefully you can find the same parts. So there's our ST3600. And while it looks very similar to the ETA 6497, this crown stem's a lot thicker and there's that gooseneck bar thing on the back. I don't know. The movement's kind of pretty. I like it. We've got a nice brown leather strap, which is pretty thick. It's actually I think a 22 mil strap. I'll measure it here soon. And then we've got our case. Now this is an open back case, and unlike the Panerai builds that I did, this case isn't nearly as heavy or as thick. You can see it doesn't have like that crown guard thing that a Panerai would have, but it's an exhibition case back, so we'll be able to see the movement once I'm done. And like I said, I was trying to aim for something with a pocket watch type feel. So we have what amounts to a faux porcelain dial, corresponding blued hands. Now, the movement came with a crown stem, which I'm going to try to use, but if I fail on making a crown stem, I did order several more for this particular movement. Now, the movement also came with this. Trying to get everything out of the bag so you can see it. Basically, what we have here is a different gear for the seconds. I don't know exactly what that would be for, but if you know, let me know in the comments below, because there is a second hand here. So I don't know if there would be like some other time thing that you could do there, but we are not going to be using that. This is the actual crown stem. Or, sorry, this is the actual crown that came with the case. You can see it's kind of a decorative little crown there. So that's what we're going to use on the side. We have our spacer, which goes in between the that's the minute gear. Excuse me. We are going to have to use that so that I can have all the hands running. I didn't even think about that. So there's only one hand here for testing, and that is the hour hand. I think that's the hour hand. I might have it backwards. Anyway, this gear is necessary. We're going to need that. And here are two screws, which will go with the two movement spacers, which will connect into the back of the watch on the movement. So our first order of business is getting the movement out of this case, which is actually kind of funny because I've already done this once. We pulled the movement out. Now, one thing I figured out with this movement, in order to put the dial, or in order to put the movement in the case, of course you have to take out the crown, but when I did that, this gear fell out, so I'm going to be very careful about that. So what we'll do, I'm going to take the second hand off. Well, you know what? We're going to put the movement in the movement holder properly so that the movement holder holds the movement. There we are. To pop our hands off. And get them both out of the way. So as I said before, this gear will have to go here in order for everything to work. What I am going to do too is I'm going to put a little bit of grease on here because I'm relatively sure that this entire movement has not been properly greased or regulated. However, as it is a new movement, I'm not going to go through a full service on it. That would be for a much later video. So we're just going to be putting the teensy bit of grease. Literally just enough so that we can say we did. We add our hand there. Now I have to figure out where the dial feet are. Okay. Looks like we have one here. So we'll just seat the dial on here and that will tell me where our dowel feet are supposed to go. Our dowel. Our dowel screws are supposed to be right here. And then right here. There we go. Dial is secured. So now, what we want to do is we're going to get our hands out. I'm going to try to start with second hand here. I'm going to get my pushers in my toolkit. It might be time to replace the Rodico, as it seems to stick to everything except for what I want it to. I do have some ceramic tweezers now too, so I might be able to use those to hold it. Should be a little safer. Just have to get the second hand onto its point there. Thank you. Second hand is on there, but in putting it on there, I've bent it just a little bit, so I'm going to try just gently ease it up a little bit. Right, now onto the hour hand. Like I said, I chose these particular hands in this particular watch, or this particular dial, because I wanted something that sort of looked like I converted pocket watch. Since I haven't quite figured out how to actually do that, figured this might be the next best thing. I'm just checking the hand to see if it's level with the movement. Just angle it down a little bit. See, I'm trying to get it as level as possible. It's looking pretty good. So now we'll pull the adjuster out, move it around. We're obviously not going to hit the seconds hand there. So yeah, I just wanted something kind of interesting looking. I think this fits the bill. Get the minute hand on, or not. Oh, you know what? I've got to take it all apart. I forgot the spacer. Quite all right. This shouldn't take that long. Just have to undo all the fun I just had. Hands out of the way. Second hand. All a learning process. And it should help me to be mindful to not rush. Be able to just pop the dial back off. Then we want to put our spacer on. Make a U shape. Sure, our dial is seated back. Here we go. Happy again. Now, let's try all of that one more time. Yeah. Find the one of the movement holder screws there. To the floor. All right, and now back to our hour hand. I would like to eventually find a pocket watch where the case is damaged to a point just beyond recovery, and then figure out a good method of actually putting it into a case. And at the same time, I am looking for a bunt type strap for a pocket watch to use as a wristwatch. So if you know of any good places to find stuff like that, let me know in the comments down below. I'd really like to be able to wear a pocket watch on my wrist, much like they did during the First World War. checking for level hands. I think that the minute hand can go down just a bit. There we go, that's pretty spot on. Now let's test. All right. Then let's give the movement a little wind. There we go. Tick, tick, ticking away. Now, like I was saying earlier, I may have to adjust the second hand. It does look a little out of whack. There we go. Taking our case, making sure we're in focus. Now what I need to do here, is to loosen this screw just enough to pull the crown stem out. There we go. And that crown stem is, like I said earlier, much thicker than what you would find in a UTA 6497. Got our movement in place. I've also been looking at some of the watch kit companies out there. Haven't been a fan of their prices, but you know, if you guys are interested in seeing me buy a watch kit from somewhere, let me know in the comments down below what kind of watch you'd like to see and from which watch company you would like me to buy it from, and I'll see what I can do. So we've got our movement in place. Somewhat, I think I might need to fix that. The dial is not behaving properly. There we are. There we are. So we've got the movement in. We want to line up the crown stem, line up the movement with the crown stem. A really easy way to do that would be to flip the movement over and look at the 3 o'clock, but here we are. Remember what I was talking about earlier about making sure I didn't unscrew the stem too much? Well, this is what we've got now. So I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart to get back to the keyless works and fix this, because the keyless works has jumped and now I can't remove the stem at all. Oh, there we go. Maybe I am wrong. Could only hope. And yeah, see, it's all the way in now, and I'm changing the time. So I'll go and fix that and I'll come back. Press the stem back in. And we're going to take this very slow, half turn at a time, maybe even a quarter turn. Came out a little too rough for my taste. Not quite sure what I'm doing wrong here. Almost wonder if I should pull the stem out while it's still in the hand setting position, because it seems that every time I try to pull the thing out, that it reverts back. So once again, I need to stop what I'm doing and take everything apart. Let's hope that the third time's a charm. So we've got the crown in at the blind position. I am going to turn one full turn, pull crown out, just kind of nestling watch into the movement, or into the case. Ease it in there. Go. And now we need to put a movement holder here and here. That's where these parts come in here. Hopefully these won't require any cutting. Just gotta get edge of this right under inner ring on the case. Gonna ease the crown back in, but not tighten it down because we still have to cut it. I'll just keep it in place. Then maneuver this little spacer in place. It's got to slide right under this lip here. I think I had it in upside down. It's kind of got a like a lip that moves up, as it were. So I'm going to try this again. Gonna slide it right under, and then line it up. Now, on second thought, maybe it does go down. And that way it holds it in place, but gives me the angle that I need to hook to screw the screw in. So we'll try that and see what happens. It's not going. seems lined up with the hole. So now we get our movement holder screw in place. This is seeming trickier than I thought. Okay. One down and one to go. See, it's just right there. I don't have it tightened all the way because I want to make sure that I can get both of them in there. Then we'll be on to the fun part, cutting the crown stem. Every one of these builds seems to be a new adventure, a new opportunity to learn. I do so enjoy learning how to do this. I hope you enjoy watching me learn. There we go. I just needed 4 hands, that's all. Yeah. There's our watch in the case. So now we need to figure out our crown stem. I previously marked this. Just going to loosen the screws up for the movement. See if we can slightly adjust it. Crown stem. Seem to want to go back in. There we go. It was just a little off kilter. Make sure everything lines up. Watch face here. Yeah, we're good. All right, so we're back in, and that's as far as it goes. Like I said before, if I do end up messing this up, we've got 3 more chances. All right, so measuring from the edge of the crown to the inside of there, looks like roughly 7.39 millimeters. So take this. I'm going to use this one as a practice so that if I screw it up, I've got even more chances. We've got our handy pin vise. Now, this is the crown that's going to go on there. So if we take our measurement here, take a look at it, I have already marked a spot right there. So I'm going to try and use that spot as my guide. Maybe you heard that shoot across the garage. Just let you know I'm taking the crown stem, sanding the burrs off. What that should do is that should allow us to screw the crown in to the stem. And this would be a lot easier if I had a pin vise that was the correct size. Finally, there it is. See, when you have an appropriate size pin vise, it's very easy to hold on to the tiny things that you need to hold on to. Just got to get a few more burrs off the edge. All right. Now we'll just do a test fit. And as you can see, I've still got a little bit more cut. Trying to leave a little extra just in case, but my original mark was right there, which looks like it's about where I need to cut. See how it works now. That looks nice. I'm not sure it could be any tighter, but one way to test would be to remove them. Oh, it will go. Still need to cut a little bit more off. Trying not to go too short because at some point I'm going to lose thread. We want to get it right. So very close. Do it one more time. Any shorter than this and I'll probably have to like sand or grind the end down. I think we're getting there. There you go. That's good. So now get some thread locker. Dip very end. Our thread in here. Right. There we go. Look at that. Perfect fit. So now we tighten. We can wind. All right, so we're in there, we're winding. Make sure there's a chance that I've somehow made the stem too short. So it can't lock down. But as I said before, that's why it's always better to measure, but that's why I also bought a few more of these. I'm going to test my theory by pulling out a thread or two. Still get all the way to the side of the case. Really hope I don't have to take this whole thing apart. Because our crown, or our screw there, connects right in here to a mechanism, or connects a mechanism right in there, and allows the crown stem to both lock in place and switch gears, if you will, to change to setting mode. So let me grab another new fresh crown stem and I'll be right back. All right, so I've cut another one. Should be longer than the previous one. Here we go. Perfect. So now I'm just going to loosen this and get the thread lock on there. We can seal this watch up. I'm going to clean up and we'll get the strap on and I'll show you the final result. All right. Now that the watch is assembled, we've got the leather strap that I've picked out. Which came, of course, with its own tool to put the strap on the watch. And I really like this strap as far as AliExpress straps go. It's pretty cool looking, pretty distressed. Look at that. That's really cool. Exhibition case back with a vintage looking watch case and watch strap. All in all, I think this might have cost around $80 to build. And had I opted for a name brand movement, like an well, I say name brand movement, had I opted for an actual like ETA movement or something, that obviously would have been much more expensive. But you guys know how I like my AliExpress builds. And to give you an idea, again, I am roughly a 7.5-inch wrist. But I like that. That's really classy looking. The faux blue hands, or the faux blued hands, which are actually blue hands, look really good. And I like the vintage look of the faux porcelain dial. So, just another one of my little watch builds. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the video as much as I have making it. My name is Bryant. This is the Last Stop Watch channel. Have a great day.